Hello, everybody. My name is Mike. Not Mystical Mike, not, Crystal Mike, not Magic Mike. Maybe. Not on this planet, though. Just Mike. I'm a tarot card reader. I love reading tarot cards because there's nothing better than that feeling of being able to help somebody, connecting them with the universe and sort of giving them guidance that they ordinarily wouldn't be able to get. And that, there's not a whole lot of people that do this. So, very few people can provide. I'm going to teach you the right way. There's no real right way or wrong way, but I think that it's important to understand some concepts behind the cards. I do a lot of studying on my own, and so I've been doing this for, 17 years. So you're going to learn a lot of things from me, but specifically in this video, we're going to take a look at just a little bit more about me, why I'm even doing this in the first place. I swear to God, that's like 30 seconds or less. The major arcana, we're going to be inspecting the deck for this first video. We're going to learn more about the major arcana, the minor arcana. What does arcana even mean? We're going to learn about how to tell them apart. We're going to learn about card meanings. We're going to learn how the four suits play out and their representations. And then we're going to recap and put it all together. However, very first, we are going to do, I just want to test your knowledge just to get a base pop quiz. All right, so the pop quiz asks, if the querent comes to you with a specific question, the querent is just the person getting the reading done. If the querent comes to you with a specific question, how many cards should you draw to answer that question? Would it be represented by hand 1 or hand 2? If you said hand 2, 3 cards, correct, ding. If you said hand 1, it's okay. Listen, there's no right way or wrong way. You could do number 1, but here's my thing. You draw 3 cards, you are going to be able to tell somebody what their answer is. If they want an answer for something, 3 cards is all it takes. If it takes more than that, like we don't got all day. They want an answer now. They don't need to wait for, 45 minutes to get to the answer they're looking for, especially if they have more than one question. 3 cards will give you the baseline, everything you need to know to answer. If they want to go deeper into it, you can draw more cards after that. In later videos, I'll teach you some of the different draws that I do. But let's, I'm going to first start about me. I moved to Las Vegas back in 2006, and that is when I started reading tarot cards. Right before I moved, my aunt, who taught me how to read tarot cards, did a tarot reading on me. And my grandmother was into voodoo. I was not into voodoo. I come from a long line of weirdos, right? But this is just part of my gift. So do I even need the tarot cards to read you? Absolutely not. I could do it without them. However, rule number 1 in tarot, people like a little bit of entertainment, a little bit of flair, right? These cards provide that. So if you're using the cards, it's better than you just sitting there talking at them, right? So you can read their energy all day and know what you need to know, but the cards really do help. So I decided that I would start teaching now because I feel like it's good to pass this knowledge down. And I've been doing it long enough where I guess I feel comfortable. And why not? My YouTube channel's monetized, so let's go. All right, that takes care of me. So I've been reading 17 years, you know that. The tarot deck is made up of 78 cards. There are 22 in the major arcana, and there are 56 in the minor arcana. What is this arcana? What does that even mean? Well, the arcana, that word specifically means only known to a few. So the 22 major arcana cards, the 56 minor arcana cards make up your full tarot deck. A trump card refers to any major arcana card. A suit card refers to any minor arcana card, okay? I'll get to those in just a second. So what is this major arcana, minor arcana? If it's a major arcana card, it means that these cards represent the bigger themes in a person's life, the bigger thoughts, the bigger insecurities, the bigger everything, right? The hurts, the habits, the hang-ups. These are their revelations. These are their bigger picture things, their influences. Anything major in their life is going to be represented by those cards that come up in the major arcana, right? So think big, big picture, big terms, big things that are important to them, big worries, big all that, right? The minor arcana card is not minor at all, even though that's the name it has. It's almost a misnomer because I like the minor arcana because that is going to be the fill in the details, right? You got the major arcana, the bigger themes. Now we're going to fill in the little details, like the other little things you need to know otherwise to put this all together, right? So this is going to be, the minor arcana cards can reveal our blind spots, narrow down choices for us if we're making choices, zero in on something that we need to know. It can reveal patterns. It can reveal solutions. It can provide warnings. It can provide hidden nuggets of wisdom you wouldn't know. That's the beauty of the minor arcana set that comes inside the bigger set of the tarot cards. Now, if you're looking at major arcana and minor arcana, there are some differences, right? We just told you what, I just told you what the big difference is between the major and the minor. But if you needed to identify that on a tarot card reading, would you be able to do it? Probably not right now. You might. If you're brand new, you may not, but if you will soon. So I'm going to take you through the differences between the major arcana and the minor arcana. If it is a major arcana card, you're going to automatically know it for one reason and one reason only. Down at the bottom, you see where it says the Tower? The major arcana is always going to have the title of the card down there. Now, some of the minor ones will as well. However, the major ones only have this, the word the, in front of whatever the card is. So if you see the word the, it is automatically a major arcana card. You automatically know that this is one of the bigger themes, the bigger all that. You got it, right? So this one happens to be the Tower. Just remember, it always starts with the. The other way you can tell is that a major arcana card will always have a number up top. So they start at 0. 0 is the Fool, and then they go up to 21. So think about that. 0 to 21, which means there's now 22 because 0 is a number in there, right? So the Magician is number 1. So you see where it keeps going. So it's going to go up to 21, but that's how you get 22 cards in the major arcana because of that 0 card. So those numbers are important, right? So if we're still looking at the Tower here, you see the XVI, Roman numeral 16. The 16 is associated with the Tower. Why is the 16 important? These are things we learned also later. Because the 16 in numerology is a karmic debt number. Guess who's got the karmic debt number of 16? How? I don't know. Like, what the hell was I doing in a past life? I mean, I think I'm a pretty good guy. Apparently the universe said I was a shitbag, and here we are. All right, well, the 16 is a karmic debt number, and so that naturally pairs with this Tower card. And again, later I'll take you through that. But, these are important. They're not just sitting on the cards. These decorations are not just sitting on the cards because they don't mean anything, just to decorate the cards. No, they do mean something, right? So that takes care of major arcana cards. Now it comes to the minor arcana cards and how to tell them apart. Not all the time will these cards have the title of the card on them. For example, you're looking at the Two of Swords, right? The Two of Swords is a stalemate. It's can't make a choice, can't make a decision. Two people are not willing to come to an agreement, right? The card in and of itself, how do you know it's the Two of Swords? Because you see the number 2 up top, right? So they're always going to have a number at top as well, except for some of the cards, the royalty ones that are in the deck. And then you see that the swords are there. You probably, if you've looked at the deck before, you notice that there are other suits in there. So the minor arcana cards are always going to be suited, much like in a regular deck of playing cards, where you have the jacks, the spades, the hearts, and the diamonds. Same thing in tarot, except their suits are the swords, the wands, the pentacles, and the cups. What does that mean? The swords represent our fears, anything we're afraid of, our anxieties, right? So automatically, when you draw a sword card, you're going to know that it might be tied to that. The wands are all of our talents, our skills, the things that make us good at what we do, right? So when you see wands, you know it's something related to skills or talents. The pentacles have a double meaning. Most people don't know this. The pentacles represent, in the sort of the monetary form, like the value we put on things, like the monetary value, the material items, the money that we make, our livelihood, the jobs, how much income we have coming in. It's all of that. But the values can also take on the core values, right? They can be symbolic of the core values and the things that you hold dear, the things that are non-negotiable, the things that you will not live without because these are things that are very important to you, those kinds of values. So there's the hidden meaning. Most people don't know that. You're getting like A++ lessons here. And finally, we have the cups. The cups represent how we're fulfilled, how we feel about ourselves, our worth, right? Now, I mentioned that pentacles are about our worth as well, like values. It's not the same kind of worth. It's not like you want to, if you're talking about worth something, you're really probably more toward cups, maybe in some instances on the pentacles, but worth, fulfillment, our emotions, those are all tied to the cups, right? So now you've got the 4 different suits. Pop quiz, what are they? I can't hear you, obviously. So I know you just said the swords, the wands, the pentacles, and the cups. By the way, who the hell says pentacle? Like, no one. I don't know. So you see how they're suited up. Now, they do run like a regular deck of cards in the sense that they go from the ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jack? No, there's no jack. Instead of the jack, it's called the page. So you have the page wands, the page of swords. That is just means the jack. It doesn't mean the jack, but it's symbolic. It's like the counterpart there. So now you have all of the major arcana cards you know, and you have all of the minor arcana cards, right? And so if you were to look at those cards, you would know that if it has the word the in the title at the bottom, it is a major arcana card. That, knowing that in and of itself, that's not, you're at 85%, right? Because now, like, you understand how these decks work. You understand the major arcana, it's the bigger themes, the minor arcana, it's the fill in the details, a lot of those. But what you also don't know, I'm going to teach right now, is you have to really look. When you start doing tarot cards, you got to really look at the deck. And every time you pull a card, be fascinated with it because it's got meanings. Sometimes the meaning will go right along with what it says in this book, in your little instruction book. The universe also has meaning that it's going to place on you. If you think that you're doing a tarot reading and that you are like in control and that you know everything, that's not how it works. And I hate to break that news to you, it's not you, it's the universe. The universe will tell you what it wants you to know, what the cards that is being dealt, and if it doesn't want you to know something, you will not know it. I promise you. But there are some similarities between the cards. For example, if you took a look at the 4 different suits, right, they're inherently different, but let's look at the ace, right, the ace card in all 4 of those suits. Look at the ace of wands, the ace of swords, the ace of pentacles, and the ace of cups. What do you notice similar about all these cards? Well, obviously, the weird hand coming out of the cloud in every single card, holding on to the suit, the tangible object that represents that suit. And then there's some, other things in there. They all have this gray or white sky background, right? Well, so in all of these, the meaning is a little bit different in the sense of the suits, but it's the same thing that's bringing all these together. The ace represents beginnings, brand new beginnings. So whether it's the wands, the swords, the pentacles, or the cups, if you pull any one of these cards, it means that you're at the beginning of something or ready to start a new adventure, or something new is coming along, right? You have to know those kinds of things. So you'll see other nuances in the deck of where these cards, you see a lot of the similar color backgrounds. You see some of the same maybe animals. They all have meaning in there. It's very clever. You're not going to know all this at once. Don't think that you're going to be a whiz at this. It's taken a long time. I wouldn't even call myself a whiz at everything. I just know how to read well because I just know how to read well, right? But that will come to you. So the best thing to do is I would study the book a little, and card meanings, but I would start looking at the cards on your own. Just sit there with them, stare at them, look at what's on them, look at what makes that card tick. And then you're going to start you're going to start thinking about that card. Like, this also looks like, what could it be, right? I want to say, for example, like, we have the 6 of wands here. Now, the 6 of wands, if I were to look at this card and knew nothing about it, I would be like, there is a celebration of sorts in some ways, right? I would say that you're nearing a festival. You're nearing a time of year where there's a celebration. Well, what this card really means is victory is yours. Like, this is a celebration that's coming. It's like the impending you're going to win. And it's victory, right? With all the skills, all the talents that you have, you're riding on that night. It's a victory card. Upside down, it means something completely different, right? It means now it's fear and anxiety that the enemy is beating you to the line, right? It's fascinating that's how it works. But you see how when I first got this card and I didn't know anything about it, I would have said, like, that is true. Like, everything I said wasn't wrong. You'll figure all of this out. I think we are wrapped up. If there's something in here I didn't cover, just let me know. Obviously subscribe to my channel, like it, follow it, lick it. I don't care what you do with it. Pick it, stick it. And if you have a question, just put that in the comments. Our next video, I will be telling you what I think are the 10 characteristics every tarot card reader should have. What qualities? Oh,